Well, to tell us more about that and to shed some light on the overall state of the region's retail industry and the challenges it currently faces is Aubrey Ghose, founder and managing director at AIS Brand Lab, a global brand consultancy. Aubrey, first of all, thank you very much for coming on Business Arabia.
Thank you for inviting me. Pleasure
Tell
to
us
be
about
here.
what you guys do. What exactly do you look at?
Well, we're brand design consultants, and we've got a very broad offer. We've got offices in London and Barcelona and now here in Dubai, I'm pleased to say. And we develop brands for our clients in a very holistic way. So we cover a broad range of specialist fields, from architecture to interior design, product design, furniture design, but we also do advertising, tone of voice and communications for our clients. And very importantly, we also work on staff training for brands. So we teach staff how to deliver the brand in the best way. So it's a very holistic kind of offer.
And how have people's perceptions and opinions of themselves changed due to the current economic climate?
Oh, well, that's a good one. I think they've changed dramatically. I think everybody's had to reinvent who they are. Everybody's had to reconsider their goals and aspirations for the future because so much has changed so fast. So I think dramatically, people are dramatically re-looking at, whether when they're going to retire, or what car they're going to buy, or where they're going to go on holiday, or where they're going to go and shop. They're really considering that in a different way now. So I think we've all got to be mindful of that. It's a real sea change in the mind of the consumer out there.
And besides the consumer, how have enterprises, commercial ones in particular, been affected? How have they been impacted? And what will they do to realign themselves with this new reality?
Well, that's a good question also. I think the first thing they have to do is establish how they are relevant in this new world order. We call it the new world order because it's really a sea change in the way people have thought. So the first thing businesses and brands have to do is really look hard at themselves and work out how they are relevant in the new world order. And that starts by trying to understand the mindset of their target consumer and understanding what their needs are and how their aspirations have changed. And then really for some brands it will mean going back to basics and doing that very well. For some brands it's going to mean reinventing themselves completely and doing something new and different. But the challenge for brands really is to look at themselves very hard and find out how to reinvent themselves or position themselves properly for the new consumer mindset.
Aubrey, what kind of brand values should brands have in order to be successful in our current markets?
Well, over the last 5 to 10 years, brands have been looking for all kinds of differentiating values, and the recent ones have been: you've got to be cool, you've got to be cutting edge, you've got to be out there. And I think that's changed. I think consumers are looking for other things now. Consumers are far more attracted to honesty and integrity in a brand, heritage, seeing where a brand has come from. Honesty is really, really important to build trust in the mind of consumers, bearing in mind that consumers have been very hard hit. They're kind of worried about their leaders often in many countries around the world. They're worried about their banks and their institutions. They've failed them in many ways. So there's a trust issue in the mind of the consumers. So I think honesty and integrity is absolutely the first one. I think another one is innovation. Now is the time to innovate. It's not the time to stop innovating now. So brands that really take innovation seriously, because after all, innovation makes our world a better place to live if we do it well. So brands doing that will be successful. I think simplicity is a really big one. That's a big, very popular brand value for people we're working with at the moment, because keeping things very simple is, we've learnt the lessons. Everybody's got video recorders at home with the time blinking 0 because nobody can work out how to set the time. It's keeping things simple is important. And I think, let's see, clarity. I mean, clarity of message and clarity of offer is really important. The days of hyper spin are over. People want clear, concise messages that are honest and true, and I think they're the things that are going to affect the next 5 or 6 years, certainly in branding.
So precise, concise, and to the point.
Yeah,
basically.
totally. Yeah, well said. Beautifully said. Yeah.
Thank you. You've also worked a lot with Islamic brands.
Yeah, we have. I enjoy that very much. I think one of the things that we've noticed, it surprised me with Islamic brands, is that we frequently work with brands around the world that don't actually have any values of their own, and we've got to make them up for them. The strength of working with Islamic brands is that they properly have values that they hold dear and true, and they allow those values to influence the business. And it's a really important factor, and that goes back to the honesty and integrity thing. That's what people are looking for. So I think Islamic brands are well positioned in this market.
What about Dubai as a shopping hub or a shopping destination? How is it going to have to adjust or change in order to maintain that level of tourism that is based on shopping and their shopping festivals in particular?
Yeah, well, actually, I was speaking to somebody today who said Dubai is full of shopping centres designed for consumers that no longer exist, and I think that's entirely wrong. I think Dubai is a wonderful place, but it has to realign its brand values. I think Dubai's got all the great stuff. You know, it's got sun, sea and sand. It's got the best brands in the world here, great food, great restaurants. But it's missing something, and that thing it's missing is value in its brand proposition, if you like. And I mean, it used to have it many years ago. You know, I was born and brought up in London, and my family are actually lived in India, so we had to travel backwards and forwards. And back in those days, you couldn't fly directly to Calcutta from London, so we used to stop over in Dubai. And my dad used to just make sure we had an extra day or two, so he could go and buy stuff and presents and things, and he'd bring them back to India. And you know, seeded in the mind of the consumer back then was the fact that Dubai was tax-free and it was really great value. It's lost that. And my call to action to retailers here in Dubai is to reinvent that value proposition for Dubai. It may not be popular for me to say this, but I want them to cut their margins. I want them to work really hard at them, not just dabble with them, but properly cut them, and work hard at getting a global message out there that Dubai is a fabulous place to come, but also that it's a value proposition, value destination. And I really think that they should focus on doing that, these guys, and reinvest in. Dubai's been very good to a lot of people here. Now's payback time. I want to see these people reinvesting in Dubai and reinvesting in the Dubai brand, and in doing that they'll be reinvesting in their own brands and their own futures.
Well, that being said, just before you came on the show, I was covering a piece on the first ever retail association, which in the Gulf, which should be up and running probably by around June. How effective would such an association be?
Oh, tremendously effective. I'm delighted that the retailers are getting together. I'd be very happy to get involved with them. I think I could be of some help, and I'm here to do that. And I think that anything that's going to get retailers in Dubai together, working together as a cohesive team to get a global message out there, particularly if they adopt this idea of value. I can't tell you how important it is. It really is. Value is a really important one. And that's at all ends of the scale. I think they should work hard at being value at luxury brand level, and I think they should be value at hard discount brand level as well. So I think it's a great thing, and I wish them all the best, and I very much look forward to hearing what they get up to, and perhaps getting involved with them if I can.
Thank you very much, Aubrey. That was Aubrey Ghose, founder and managing director at AIS Brand London.